Hey everyone, it's Bubblegum Bump, and I'm here to do a quick horse game review. Today I am reviewing Riding Club Championships. This game is one of my favorites, mostly because it is a lot harder than your normal horse game. I really would not suggest this game for your young horse game player. The controls are a little bit different than other horse games. They're also a little bit harder when it comes to doing things like jumping, because unlike some games it says, okay, when this turns green, hit the spacebar in your jump. In this one, you don't do that. You have to judge it all on your own, and sometimes it's not very easy, especially on the close jumps. The three pretty big sections on this game are training, who I will tell you right now, if you did not like the training people in the game Horses, you will not like this lady. She is not nice. She is quite rude, and so you might even want to turn her off because she's not nice. And you also have competitions, which is a huge part of this game. Huge. There are, sorry, the lights from my mouse. There are 3 different types of competitions. You have maneuvering, you have show jumping, and you have cross country, which you can't actually access until you're tier 3, which took me a few hours to get to, so you probably will not make it to tier 3 on the 1 hour free trial that you can get with this game. Then along with that, there are different types of competitions. There's single competition where you just basically compete against yourself. You're trying to get better, you're trying to get a better score. Then you have ranked match, where you click it and you'll be randomly placed with some other person who wants to do a ranked match, and you can be in anything depending on your tier. If you are tier 2, you'll only be placed in tier 1 and 3. I don't even know if they do 1, but if you're tier 3, you could be placed with someone. You could be placed in either tier 2 or tier 3 type match, like jumping, cross country, or maneuvering. Even as when you start, you could compete against the most experienced person. There's no really discrimination against that. So, especially when you first start, it's really hard to win because the people you're playing against are so good. But once you start getting better, things become easier, I guess. The third section, which isn't really too important in this game, which is actually kind of nice, is the taking care of your horse. So basically right now it's just grooming, but I believe they're planning on adding more things. With that, you can groom your horse, which is really rather easy, or once you start winning and you make money, you can actually pay to just groom your horse, which that's what I've been doing because I'm real rich. Woohoo! One downfall to this game: it costs money. And even though it is only $6 a month, that adds up. And especially when you're only paying, say, $20, $30 for a regular horse game, that seems like a lot. The good side, the graphics are amazing. I have mine at the low level, and I still love the graphics. I haven't even tried putting it at the high level, because like most games, the higher your graphics level, the slower your game's going to run. And when you're doing jumping and all that stuff, you don't want your game to lag, because then you're just going to destroy the track, and that's not nice or very good. So tip, if you are having issues jumping over something, like the smaller space jumps, if you're having issues with that, and even if you don't think your game is lagging, lower down the graphics, because I'm telling you, it makes it so much easier. That's what I discovered. I'm sorry, I'm moving away from the camera. Woo! I'm just... Okay. Anyway. For a rating on this game, I'm going to give it an 8. Only because it costs money. It costs a lot of money. But it can keep you occupied for a long time. It's not one of those games that you're going to get bored with. If you have a good sense of competitiveness, this game is going to keep you occupied for a very long time. You could talk to people around the world, you can compete against them, and it's just plain fun. I've made a lot of good friends on this site already, so it's a really awesome game in that aspect. But again, I'm going to emphasize, it does cost money. It's not a cheap game. It's not something you just pay for once. I know in some places, I think it's like Europe, you can buy like a physical copy of the game. It still costs money every month to play it. So it's a downside. It's a big downside. From what I've heard, they update it quite often, but I've only been there for less than a month, so I haven't seen any. But it seems like they're pretty big on updating it. So it might be something you'd want to check out. I'd at least suggest checking out the trial version of it. It's only an hour long, but you get a kind of a feel for the controls, and just generally pretty fun. And if you're going to pay for it, make sure you're home for like that whole month you have it. Makes it a lot easier. Okay, well, this is Bubblegum Bum, and this was my rather quick horse game review, I think. So, yep, that was it. Please leave any comments below. I know this wasn't a really great one. I don't know why. I'm like, didn't mind. But, leave any comments below for what you thought of this review, what you personally think of this game, and with any other games you'd like me to possibly review. Before I go, I'd just like to remind you, or tell you, I don't know if I even reminded anyone before, I am going to Mongolia in about 2 weeks, so unless you get your recommendation to me, like, in a few days, probably not gonna do it. Just saying. Okay, so, like I said, Bubblegum Bum, this is the game you can't see, and I am out.